My name is Clay Cunningham, and I've been around sports my entire life. For the past 7 years, I've been a reporter for multiple publications around the state of Indiana, an occupational choice that seemed fitting considering that I'd spent my previous 23 years of life as a very specific kind of imbecilic sports fan. And while athletes and coaches will always be the biggest draw, in recent years I've also taken a great deal of interest in the referees, primarily because I've never understood why anyone would want to do this job. In my lifetime, I can think of only 2 instances in which the officials were cheered. Once at a baseball game after the home plate umpire took a foul tip to the throat, and again at another baseball game when the field umpire took a sharp line drive to the most comically sensitive part of the male anatomy. Otherwise, the men and women in this field seem to spend the bulk of their time being vocally criticized by some of the loudest and, occasionally, dumbest people on the face of the earth. Officiating oftentimes seems to be completely thankless, with jobs well done appearing to go unnoticed, and mistakes being magnified to the point that people sometimes never get over them. Also, it's sometimes quite dangerous. So why take a job that has such a significant dark side? Raleigh Thill, a 20-year veteran of football and basketball games in both the high school and college ranks, says ugly incidents are just something he and his peers have to deal with.
There was a time where we were playing there's 2 teams playing in Munster, and my partner made a call and the student section didn't like it, so they started throwing money at me. Wasn't anything that was dangerous or anything like that. Could have maybe been, but they were just throwing money at me and stuff. So that was one thing, and then there was another time where a coach thought we were cheating his team, so he went around and spread the word to his buddies to take it out on me with the coach's vote, because that's how we advance in the tournament, is dependent on how the coaches vote. But more times than not, when a team is not responding to the coach, then the coach wants to go after somebody else that's going to respond to him. So they start yelling at the officials. I really don't want to be noticed. I want to go out there, make sure the kids get a fair shake, and leave. If nobody knows who I am, that's a great game for me.
And it's not just organized sports where referees are routinely met with anger. Officiating also tends to be a verbally abusive vocation in youth and recreational league. In fact, men's soccer league play in Valparaiso, Indiana is so intense, longtime rec league official Monica Constantine refuses to work those games.
They just yell about every little call, and it's really hard. I don't want to put myself in that position. I ref because I like soccer, and I don't need to, it's not my primary job. This is a supplemental thing for me. It's great to get a little extra money to spend, but I'm not going to put myself out there in that position.
So is this a completely thankless profession? As a spectator, it's certainly easy to believe so. But those in the trenches have a different viewpoint, saying they, as fans themselves, find a great deal of reward in working games.
I think if you do it right, I think if you work hard at it and you give the kids a fair shake, it all shakes out in the end and people appreciate what you're doing. You're going to get yelled at. That's just because it's the nature of the beast. I think once you leave the field, once you leave the court, it goes away. So with that being said, it's not thankless. It's rewarding. You get to see the kids celebrate when they win. Yeah, there's some losers, but if you see teams again, they get better. You say, you know what, you guys are doing good. They really appreciate you paying attention to them. That's what it comes down to.
I coach 7 and 8-year-old girls, and I get to see them as they move up and gain their skills. I kind of get to watch to see how they grow and how they follow the laws of the game as I enforce them. So I kind of just like to see where the game of soccer is headed.
So should anyone bother becoming a referee? Phil and Constantine clearly believe so. Constantine has even been able to get Samantha, her 13-year-old daughter, into the profession in the last year. And while the ability to earn additional money appeals to the refs I spoke with, each said there was also a reward in getting to view sports from a completely different perspective.
Oh, I'm a huge soccer fan. I love sports. I want to know everything about soccer. So I played soccer, I coached soccer. The next best thing would be to ref soccer.
Some people keep playing softball. Some people keep playing rec league basketball, things like that. And this gives them a different perspective about staying involved in the game.
You really have to have a thick skin about your calls. You have to be solid. You have to make decisions quickly. And, that's some of the characteristics that a ref should have. But be ready to get screamed at.